Hi everybody, my name is Andrew Cleary. I'm a life coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. So today I want to talk about trusting the twin flame journey. So the twin flame journey is a connection between two halves of the same soul, two divine counterparts. It is a very, very highly spiritual connection, and it is something beyond anything that you can feel with a normal 3D connection or a regular soulmate. I've described before that a soulmate can be anyone from a friend, family member to your pet even, whereas your twin, and can be a romantic thing as well, but your twin flame is your true divine counterpart, your the other half of your soul. It is said that you've been separated for lifetimes, and when you've learned all your karmic lessons from this life and past lives, that you'll eventually come into divine union. But today I'm going to go into just explaining how to trust in this journey, because it makes you feel so crazy. It really does. Like, I've been on this journey since 2019. I recognized my twin in 2019. We were friends first, and we've only ever been friends, so our connection is completely spiritual. Our friendship is beyond anything I've had with other friends as well. I'll explain that in a minute. But I've been on this journey since 2019, and last year I kind of all went shit. Actually, the year before it went shit. I knew it was him. I knew in my heart and my soul that my twin flame was my twin flame. And we had a great connection. We had a beautiful friendship. Actually, we were such a childlike, such a playful connection, and I had such a protective energy of him. It's just a beautiful feeling. It's not something you feel with anyone else. And at the very start, before I knew he was my twin, I knew that there was something between us. I knew that there was this divine connection of some kind. I knew him in a past life, but because he was younger, I was like, no, this can't be for me, because he was younger than me, and at the time, I was like, oh, I can't go out with somebody younger than me. So he never came into my radar as being my twin flame, even though I'd done the research on twin flames. And but I always felt such a bond with him and a protection of him. So I recognized him through his eyes in 2019, and it was otherworldly. The connection, I saw into his soul in 2019, and that's when I realized that he was my twin. And I doubted it for a long time, because I was just like, no, it can't be him. But I realized it was him. And so between 2019 and last year, I had done so much research. I had gotten so many tarot readings, but I felt it so much within my heart and soul. And the telepathic connection was playful as well. I could be randomly in my head thinking of him, and I could be laughing and joking with him for just randomly. It's really playful connection we have. But last year and the year before, things started to kind of divide between us. Our friendship started to kind of drift apart, because he was dating somebody else, and it looked like our paths were completely different. And I had to make the hard decision last year to walk away from it. And the way I felt, I was like, I can't lose myself to this anymore. I need to concentrate on my life and concentrate on my life purpose. And that's the whole point of twin flames. It's to grow, to trigger in each other a spiritual awakening, so that you will find your divine purpose and your divine soul mission. But sometimes it's very easy, when you're in the depths of this connection at the start, to get lost in it and to lose yourself completely to it. And like last year, I made the very, very hard choice to walk away and to no longer contact him and no longer continue with our friendship, because it was hurting me too much. And I decided I'm going to call in a soulmate instead. And this was what I decided to do. And this really broke my heart, but it was something I felt that I needed to do. And I just disconnected from it completely, just to heal myself more than anything, and to pursue my own goals and my own mission, and to put the energy back on myself. So what actually happened then last year now is, I only discovered this in the last week. So I'm mind blown. I was so heartbroken by the whole thing. What I actually did was put a wall up around my heart and close off the connection completely. And now, compared to the walls I had up before, I realised that it was actually steel doors that I had put up around my heart. And I decided I'd call in a soulmate. But then when I actually did meet someone last year, I tried to fit them into the twin flame box. And I tried to convince myself that my twin flame was a catalyst and that none of what I had felt was true. I really genuinely blocked it out so much. And I was like, because I blocked my heart off so much and closed it off so much, I had suppressed everything I ever felt for my twin flame. So I said to myself, oh, sure, I don't feel anything anymore, so therefore he mustn't be my twin flame, he's a catalyst. So I tried to fit this other guy into the twin flame box. And I actually ended up developing a trauma bond with him. And I just wanted so much to have the twin flame journey, the twin flame experience, but I just suppressed all the feelings that I had for my twin flame and tried to make it out that it wasn't real, that all of the last few years was a complete lie, and that I had made it all up and I was wrong. And I was kicking myself for this. I was like, how could I have been so wrong? It seemed so right. It seemed so real. And I still had dreams about my twin last year and stuff, and like, there was one dream especially, I was reminded of our playful friendship, and I could feel it in the dream, like, and every time I do dream of him, I feel our love. But I requested again. I was like, no, he's a catalyst. No, I'm not feeling anything for him. He's a catalyst. I'm over it. And I just ignored it again. And it was only 2 weekends ago on the Saturday, I did a very, very enlightening breathwork session. And the next day I realised all my blocks around money and my career were actually connected to my love blocks. And I can't heal something within myself until I understand where it comes from. And I knew, like last year, it didn't feel right. You know, I didn't even realise how closed off my heart was. But I was looking for love outside myself. I was desperate to be with someone. I was crying out for external love. Whereas when I feel the connection with my twin flame, I don't need anything outside myself because I feel it in my heart and soul all the time. It's like you're in this warm bubble of love consistently and continuously, that you don't look for anything outside yourself. Like when I was going through this connection, I never ever wanted anyone else. I never did. And I never thought about dating. And online dating I find very superficial anyway. It's just not for me. But anytime I go through codependency issues or feel lonely or that, I'm like, should I try online dating? And I know I don't want to do that. And this is what I was feeling last year. I was like, how do I call in somebody else and all this kind of stuff? And then I was trying to figure out, I was trying to say that my twin flame was a catalyst. So I was like, I'll call in my new twin flame, all this kind of stuff. But I realized after that breathwork session, the walls I had up around my heart were massive. There were steel doors. And I just closed off myself to my twin flame connection because I was so hurt that it wasn't going to work out. But the whole point of twin flames is to go through separation periods. And I know we were only ever friends before, but I always believed in my heart that we'd be together someday. But because we seemed to be going in completely different ways, I said I'd let it go and call in a soulmate. But then as I said, I convinced myself he was a catalyst because I didn't feel it anymore, but I wasn't allowing myself to feel it anymore. So after that breathwork session, after realising my blocks around love, the walls around my heart just melted. And I started to feel love everywhere inside me and outside of me again. And I just felt so complete. And that night or the night after, I had a dream about a twin flame again. And the morning after, all the feelings just came flooding back as if they were never, ever gone. So for the last week, say from Sunday, all of last week and this week, I can feel my twin flame connection again. I am so sure of all of it now. And like I had another dream about him 2 nights ago, and the love just keeps rushing back in completely like it was never gone. Now, we haven't even connected on the 3D or anything. I haven't seen him in over a year, and I haven't spoken to him in almost a year. So there you go. That's proof. And you know, throughout the whole experience, I knew in my heart and soul it was him. I could feel it on the 5D, and that's another thing. The telepathic connection is strong, but it's the 5D liaisons, I'll call it. Astral sex. and the meetings in the astral realm. Like, having a 5D sexual experience is actually way more satisfying than any 3D experience you'll ever have. Now, obviously, when you do actually unite with your twin flame, it's going to be otherworldly when you do. But before that even happens, you get to experience that magic. And that's the thing, like, when you meet in the 5D, it is stronger than anything you will ever have in the 3D, with any kind of 3D relationship. So, you know, I've been sexually satisfied on a spiritual level for years, except for last year when I disconnected from the whole thing and I started to feel lonely and started to feel I needed somebody outside of myself. And that's the thing, it's such a rush of love. It's like your soul dance. It's like butterflies, but you get it in your tummy and in your heart, and it's intense. It's stronger than anything that you felt, or any kind of butterflies you'll feel in the 3D. But it's like you're constantly with them, and it's like you're constantly surrounded by this bubble of love. And that's how you know it's real. And then, like last week, all the memories from our experience and our friendship, our connection, came flooding back in, all the dreams I've ever had. And that's the thing, another thing, at the start of our connection, I was very skeptical about the age gap. It was something I used to always kind of go for older men. I'd gone for one or two younger men, but not by much of an age gap. So I was really skeptical about the age gap. And I remember I dreamt about my twin for 3 nights in a row. And the first night we actually met up in a past life. It was so otherworldly. But say I went to bed the first night still being skeptical about the age gap. And then after the dream on the third night, I woke up feeling the love and the intensity, and finally just admitting this is it. It was like the age gap didn't ever matter. Do you get me? It was like the connection between our souls. Our souls are the same age. And it doesn't matter what our 3D difference is. That's the thing with twin flames as well. There's going to be age gaps. There's going to be cultural differences, language differences. You're going to be born in different countries, stuff like that. You know, this is all the stuff that you need to work through, and the karmic lessons you need to work through to come into union. And that's what other relationships are for as well. And that's what this experience last year had to teach me. It was supposed to happen that way. The universe guided me to actually close off from it completely. So, and another reason for that was so that my heart could reopen. I went through a massive heart awakening last year, but it was only after the breathwork session 2 weekends ago that my heart finally opened again. And I didn't even realize how closed it was until it opened. I was like, wow. And now I look back and I'm measuring how I felt last year and how I'm feeling this week. It's just, I was so closed off last year from everything, and it was blocking everything in my life. It was blocking everything from my career and everything. It was keeping me stagnant because I had closed off to love in all aspects. And I felt, now because of that, I felt lonely and I felt I needed it outside of myself. But this last week, I don't need to look for love again because I know it's here in my heart and soul, and I know I have my twin flame around me. And now I don't know what the future holds for us. But the way I've always said it before, and the way I'll say it, the way I feel again, is I would rather be alone and feel this intensity and this powerful, magical love than be in a superficial, fake love relationship. Because that's all it would be. Do you know, I don't think I'll ever feel this way. I know I'll never feel this way about another human being or another soul. So I feel that when I keep this connection alive, or when this connection is alive, it gives me more satisfaction than being with somebody that isn't for me. And that's the thing with certain relationships. Like, you know, one person might love the other person more than the other, and they will try more than anything to get that person to love them, not realizing that that's not their person. There is, I believe, a twin flame for everyone. I do believe that there is a divine counterpart for everyone, or a divine soulmate for everyone as well. But like, when you try to force somebody to love you when they don't love you, you can't force somebody else's person to love you the way that your own person should. And I think instead of being so desperate to try and find that love in another human being, you should accept the fact that that's not your person. And I just think we should all aspire to find that true, intense, divine love, because we've always settled for superficial love. We've settled for mediocre. We've changed people to fit into the box that we want to fit them into. But when it is a true divine counterpart, you don't need to change that person because you love them the way they are. And the one thing about twins as well is you help each other grow. You don't force somebody to do something they don't want. You don't change them into somebody they don't want to be. But you help them grow into what they aspire to be, or what their goals are, or their dreams are. You encourage them. You help inspire or help them to believe in themselves as well. And the whole point of this divine connection is to find unconditional love within yourself. Is to find fulfillment within yourself so that you can pursue your divine purpose and your divine mission in this life. And I realize that now again, and because I tried so hard to believe or make myself believe that my twin flame was a catalyst. This made me close up my heart so much that it kept me stagnant. It kept me slow. It kept me from reaching things that I wanted to reach quicker. And my heart opening over the last week and so it's mind blowing, because it makes me look back and see how close I have been for the last year. And I don't know what the future holds for me, but I do know that I want this feeling forever. And I hope that he feels it as well, because they say that like when you're feeling what you're feeling, your twin flame will feel it at the same time. So if he is feeling this intensity in the past week, and that's the whole thing as well, our connection is so otherworldly. It's so spiritual. It's all telepathic. It's all 5D connection. Like, you know, I have told him a few times that I was in love with him over the last few years. And actually I came across the first message I sent him. It was so funny. But yeah, I have told him over the last few years that I did love him. But I got nothing back from that. But it's you know, when you tell somebody you love them, or you have feelings for them and they don't reciprocate, you feel rejected, or you feel shit, I shouldn't, or you feel regret. I've never felt regret. The first time I told him I loved him, it was the last time I ever got drunk, actually. And usually you have regret after drinking and after text messages you send when you're drunk. But I have never had any regrets by telling him how I feel, ever, like. And, you know, that's how I know it's real, like. Do you know what I mean? Because everything that happens on a twin flame journey is supposed to happen. It's divinely guided. It's divinely orchestrated. Like, every trigger is a lesson. Every karmic upset, every karmic path is a lesson. So any relationship you might get into separately is for you to learn lessons, for you to grow, and for you to learn what you don't want, but to learn how to love yourself. So there's no wrong steps in this journey. So I don't regret telling him I loved him. And like, I actually thought I would told him twice, but I came across a couple of more messages and I was like, Jesus, I did tell him more than once, didn't I? But it doesn't bother me. And like the whole connection we have again this week, it's really childlike. And the way I describe it, I've been trying, like, this kind of laughing comes out of nowhere, right? When I can feel him telepathically. And even I've been trying to do my coursework all week, and this is what's happening. I'm trying to stay serious and do my coursework, but I just go into bursts of laughter because I can feel him, like, telepathically. And the way I describe it is like I'm like a bold child in the back of a classroom, just not wanting to do my schoolwork. I can't stop laughing now. I can feel him here with me. Do you know what I mean? So like, this is the kind of energy that a twin flame connection produces. Do you know, when you're actually, you know, concentrating on your own path and your own energy, and when you just embrace the love and embrace the feeling that you get, it is so giddy, like, it's so playful and it's so random, like, you could be doing anything and you just start laughing. So this is how I've been, like, for the last week, after being so disconnected and so detached from my twin flame journey and my twin flame connection all of last year. I have felt this kind of high vibe, childlike, playful, giddy energy all week since I reconnected, since my walls broke down and since I started feeling him again. I know he's with me all the time, and that to me is enough for now, you know. And I know the universe has done this for a reason. The universe made me detach for a reason, to close my heart, to open my heart, to learn the lessons along the way, to learn to love myself again, but to learn to trust in what I feel. Because, you know, I swear, when I was trying to persuade myself that he wasn't my one, or my actual twin flame, I was so angry with myself. I was like, how did you think that he was yours, and how did you think it was real? Like, and when I look back now again on how spiritual and how real it is, I'm like, how the fuck did I ever doubt it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I have researched twin flames to Jesus so much over the last few years, before I realized he was my twin and after. And I researched and I researched and I researched again. And like, I was gassed because there was one thing I read. Be aware of the people around you, because your twin flame could actually be already in your life, but the universe won't let you recognize them until you're ready. And I said, this is bullshit. I'd know. If my twin flame was around me, I would know. And this is gas, because how I felt about my twin before I knew he was my twin was actually a soul thing. Like, it was like very protective energy. And I did say to somebody, I swear I knew him in a past life, but I didn't connect the two because he was younger. And then the night that I actually recognized him through his eyes, they say you recognize your twin through eye contact. And that night I was mind blown. I never ever forget the connection I felt. And like, I had to, like, it took me till the morning after realizing, because I was like, Jesus, that was weird. Like, you know, that feeling I got. And then I was like trying to think about it, like how I felt about him after that eye contact. And I was like, oh my God, I remember then what I read and what the research, and I re-researched everything again about the age gap, about the eye contact. And I was like, oh my God, he can't be my twin. And I kept, at the very start, I was like, no, it can't be. But between the research and between the development of our connection, I'm like, oh my God, yes it is. And I was convinced, and 100% I knew in my soul that it was him. But last year I had to go through this karmic lesson to detach from it. And as I said, I had planned on calling in a soulmate. But I don't want that anymore. I don't want that. I want to call in my twin whenever that time is right. And if we have to wait another few years, we have to. And that's fair enough, like, because it will take as long as it needs to take. But I'm starting to trust again and believe again and feel that bloody happiness again. Jesus, it's lovely. And like, how I disconnected from that was just, looking back, it's just horrible, because I was so closed off to everything, to love. Like, I know I went through issues with my family as well, so that didn't help with the whole heart closing thing. But I didn't realise till 2 weekends ago how much my heart was blocked, and now it's open again, and now I feel my twin again, and now I'm believing and trusting again. So this is why I'm sharing this, is because it can be so easy to doubt this connection. But as I said, I haven't had any communication with my twin in nearly a year. I haven't seen him in over a year. And, you know, for all this to come back with no actual contact in the 3D is proof in itself that this is real. You know, from just a dream. And as I said, like, I had dreams about him last year and I kept dismissing them. I was like, no, he's a catalyst. No, I don't want this. Do you know what I mean? And I was so closed off to it. And even the feelings I got in the dream, I was like, no. And then all of a sudden, when my heart opened because of the breathwork session, that one dream helped break down all the mental barriers around my heart. And I finally started to trust again. And I was like, how did I ever doubt this? Do you know? And I know it is a part of, everything is a lesson and everything is supposed to happen as it should. But to be able to trust again is beautiful. And just to be able to look forward again. Because I just feel it that I'm going to see him again. Like, that's kind of what hurt as well, was that I was afraid that we'll never have a friendship even again. But I know after this last week that we will see each other again. I know that we're going to reconnect. And I know that there is going to be contact soon. I don't know when, and I'm not going to hold out for an outcome, because that was the problem with me before. I was putting too much energy into the connection. I was putting too much energy into the outcome. And this is what we're not supposed to do, because this will delay everything. The whole point is to heal yourself, put your energy back to yourself, follow your mission, follow your path, build yourself up to the best you can be. And this will reflect into them, and they will do that work on their side. And then you come together. Like, I have detached completely from the outcome now, but I'm back attached to the feeling. And to have that feeling is just so amazing. So don't ever lose that. If you believe you've met your twin flame, whether they're a friend or an ex-lover or whatever, if you believe in your soul, if you know you have that divine 5D connection with someone, trust it. Trust it, because even though I know last year was a lesson for me, I miss that love that I felt, that I'm feeling now again, and I don't want to ever let that go again. And like, I'm still going to continue pursuing my side and keep my energy to myself. I will send him healing and hope that he grows as well, and that one day we will be together. But to feel this love, to feel this intensity in my soul, it's worth it. And I am so, I'm kind of angry that I was so detached and I was so closed off last year. But as I said, everything is a part of your growth, and everything is a lesson, and everything is supposed to happen. So I had to close off my heart, to go through a heart awakening, to go through all of that shit, to realize the truth in my soul, the truth in our souls, and to trust in my divine connection. Because I know, I've known for a long time that this was real, and I am not going to doubt it again. You know, whenever it comes together, or if it doesn't, what about it? The whole objective is to find that love within myself. So I'm not going to throw all my energy into it, but I'm going to enjoy the journey, because that's what it's all about. We're here to enjoy the journey. It's not all about the destination. We have to enjoy ourselves as we get there as well. So yeah, if you believe that you've met your twin, and if you believe that you are connected to your divine counterpart, whether you've met him in the 3D or it's just in a 5D and in the dream world, trust that. Trust what you feel in your soul. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Do you know, and like, obviously 3D people are going to tell you that this isn't real. But I was my own 3D person last year, because I was like, this isn't real, this isn't real. Do you know what I mean? I was so closed off, and I was so heartbroken that I was just like, this isn't real. And I tried to fit somebody else into that box, and it was just, oh my God. It was a very big karmic lesson for me, which I'm grateful for now. But I'm so glad now to be back trusting in the truth, because it is otherworldly, and it is so worth it. Do you know, and it inspires the creative side of you as well. It inspires your passions and your goals and your mission. So if you when you know, you fucking know. You do. And like, I'm so disgusted that I doubted it, but also I'm so grateful for the lesson. And like, as I said, with no 3D